This presentation reflects on how morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics can be linked and get to the actual ESL teaching practice of primary school students. The teaching context for this reflection is an ESL classroom with primary school students. They already have basic listening and speaking skills with a vocabulary of about 800 to 1,100 words. The teaching focused on transition from sentence and paragraph. My teaching goals is improve accuracy and the appropriateness of words, and distinguish formal and informal language, and correct expression and grammatical errors in writing. Morphology, syntax, and semantics, and pragmatics, understanding how language works. They help me clearly understand the internal roots of language, from words formation and sentence structure to literal meaning and use in context. They also get me to analyze students' language errors and design targeted activities to solve their learning problems. Okay. The first morphology in teaching. In class, I teach prefix and suffixes by breaking down word structures. For example, I show how the morphemes changes happy into happiness, and how the past tense morpheme changes play into played. This method helps students recognize patterns in word information. I have realized that developing students' morphological awareness is very important. It can reduce word form errors and improve accuracy in writing. Second, syntax in teaching. My understanding of syntax allows me to help students master basic sentence patterns, such as SVO, and design practical activities like sentence completion and errors and error correction. For example, I get students to correct the wrong sentence. She very kind is into the standard. She is very kind, helping them master correct words, order, word order, and sentence structure. This teaching method makes my class more logical, effectively strengthens students' foundation in sentence building and supports their smooth transition from single sentence to paragraph writing. Thirdly, in vocabulary teaching, I use semantics to help students tell the difference between easily confused words such as see, perceiving with eyes, and look, focusing one's eyes on something on purpose. By explaining with short context sentence, I help students distinguish semantic differences in real situations, understand the word's meaning correctly, and avoid mistakes in word choice. Finally, pragmatics in teaching. In my teaching, I design context comparison exercise and role-play activities for different communication situations. For example, I ask students to use appropriate language when talking to teachers. Changing the implied "Hey, explain this again" into the polite "Could you please explain this again?" and teach them to tell formal and informal language apart in writing. This helps students understand that the meaning of language changes with context and communicative rules, and effectively develops their awareness of context and their ability to use language appropriately. Conclusion, this reflection has made it clear to me that mastering linguistic knowledge is very important for improving the effectiveness of ESL teaching. This concept allows me to explain language rules clearly to students and find the real cause of their errors, instead of only correcting mistakes passively. Uh, on, uh, I learned that morphology helps build a vocabulary and reduce word form errors in writing. Syntax helps master standard sentence rules and is the basis of paragraph writing. Semantic clarifies the literal meaning and difference of words, improving expression accuracy. Par- um, Pragmatics develop context awareness and strengthens the ability to communicate appropriately. Understanding Understanding these concepts allows me to design more targeted and effective teaching activities, shift my teaching from passive correction and active guidance, and help students develop stronger overall language competence. There are three references for my reflection. Okay, thank you.